standings tonight. We got to watch this stuff. And the Celtics, that's a big loss. That helps the Heat a lot because the Celtics, if you looked at this beforehand, the teams that the Heat are chasing for the 4, 5, and 6 spots, okay, which is basically, the spots that they need to get to avoid this play-in and all the risk that comes with that. Those teams have all been playing well. Boston's been playing well. Atlanta's been playing well, much better of late. And then also, you take a look at who's the third up? Yeah, New York, right? I mean, and the Heat do have the Heat do have the tiebreaker on the Knicks, but again, you don't want to end up in one of these multi-team tiebreakers there too, because then all the records get paired together. And Miami's had some issues with Charlotte. We know about that. And that's a team that could pop up there. But right now I'm looking at it. The Heat with a win go to 30-28. They're now a game and a half behind the Hawks for 4, a game back of the Celtics for 5, a game back of the Knicks for 6, because the Celtics and Knicks are tied, but the Celtics currently have the tiebreaker. I'll just throw this at both of you guys. Of those 3 teams, first, which do you think is going to be the hardest to catch? Which is the one that if you got into a 4-5, you would want to avoid?
I would want to avoid Boston. I think that none of the teams are hard to catch. And I say that because as you look at the remaining schedules, I mean, Boston, all of those teams play each other, I guess. And without going through the schedule one by one, I mean, Boston, just looking at it, they've got Charlotte twice. They've still got Miami twice. They've got New York the last game of the season. So you're going to see a lot of this unfold. And the overarching theme is when you're one game back from the Miami Heat's perspective, you control your own destiny. And you saw guys get rested today. I think we were all surprised to see Jimmy and Bam both sit in this game because of the standings. We're looking at them. There's 14 games left. And it's how the hell can you sit both of those guys when you're in this race? But on April 13th, they had 8 games in 12 days. That 12-day stretch will be over this coming Saturday. So I feel like they're just trying to kind of get through this 8-game in 12-day stretch. And then you're going to see Jimmy and Bam locked in, and they're a game back. They control their own destiny. So, I mean, to me, I just want to avoid Boston because I feel like all those other teams are not playoff tested at all.
What do you think, Alex?
Well, yeah, I just think the other teams, like Leif said, are not tested. I think those are the natural ones you would want to take on. Not even trying to disrespect the Hawks or the Knicks. It's just the Celtics were in the conference finals last year. I still think of Tatum and Brown as better than, the Hawks and Knicks best players. And it really comes down to that. I just think the Celtics are still more talented despite their downgrade from last season to this season. And those 2 guys that they got up there got better, and they're still really young and really good. And so, having said that, I'm not afraid of any of these teams. So I think they can catch up to these teams. They're not far behind, not guaranteeing that. The Heat, that's why every single win matters for the Heat at this point. They just need to get up, I believe, to that 4-5 range so that they can hopefully get Philadelphia in that second round and get a team like Boston, Atlanta, New York in the first round. I just think that's kind of the path for the Heat right now. If we're being honest, I don't think they should. First of all, they're in 7th place right now. I don't know if this is updated or not on NBA.com/standings.
Yeah, they're 7th. They're 7th. Okay. But they're just a game and a half behind 4 though. So I mean, they're right there. But I mean, to your point, Alex, it really is about getting to 5. I think, not to 6. 6 avoids the play-in,
exactly,
which avoids the chance.
I don't think you want Milwaukee in the first round, despite me having said I'm not afraid of them. I just think 4 or 5 is the path you want.
There's 3 reasons. You don't want Milwaukee in the first round, for sure. Obviously, you don't want to be too close to that 7 because the play-in situation creates a bunch of problems. One, you could get knocked out. Say Jimmy twists an ankle. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. Also, you don't get that week off.
That's the biggest one.
Right. For an older team, I mean, when you're talking about Iguodala, Dragic, Ariza, and Jimmy, guys in their 30s, you need that week. And if you're going to get out of that, this is 7, and then you're going to have to face a Nets team, that's been rested for a week, that actually might get healthy. You're getting swept. So, I mean, that's not a good option. But also, you're right. I mean, getting to the 6 getting to the 5 gets you out of Brooklyn's bracket most likely, because I don't think that the Nets are motivated to chase down the 1. It doesn't seem like it. They're not going to get the 3 guys in there consistently. I think Philadelphia feels like they have something to prove. Embiid wants MVP. I do feel like they're going to go after that 1 seed. And I do believe firmly that Philadelphia is a better matchup for the Heat than Brooklyn is when Brooklyn is totally right. I mean, we all agree on that.
But don't forget, Steph hung 49 on Philadelphia tonight, and they lost at home. So then now the New Jersey, listen to me, I almost said New Jersey. Brooklyn is 1.5 games back.
By the way,
yeah, the Heat need Philly to stay up there. They need Philly to stay number one.
They need Philly to stay up number one. By the way, speaking of New Jersey, okay, none of these Nets fans that were at the arena the other day ever went to a game in East Rutherford off exit. What was it, 21W, where you always miss the turn? I covered so many games in that horrific arena in East Rutherford, and none of them were there watching those Nets teams. Okay. None of them even watched the Kittles, Kenyon Martin Nets teams. Okay. This is the biggest bandwagon fan base of all time. And the thing is, most of them were Knicks fans, and this is a year they actually could go back to the Knicks.
Exactly.
And they're still bandwagoning the Nets. It's pathetic. So anyway,
quick funny story. I was probably in, let's say, 5th or 6th grade at Zoe's Summer Groove, went up to Derek Coleman to ask for his autograph, and he actually pushed my head in the opposite direction to make me go away from him and then walked away.
That sounds like Derek Coleman, for sure. No question about it.
How old were you?
5th grade.
Probably like 6th grade, somewhere around there.
Scarred for life by that.
Jesus, man, that's brutal. That would have killed me as a kid.
Hey, it was the number 1 overall pick, though. I mean, he had a little bit of an ego to himself. He's a great player at Syracuse. By the way, you mentioned Steph Curry. He helped me half win a Prize Picks tonight. By the way, prizepicks.com. Use the code 5. It's waiting for me to get the sponsor. KO did not come through. 13.5 points. He went under. So for all the KO talk,
they had to focus their defense on him.
He really did. That's right. Well, there was no one else.
Almost outplayed him.
There was no one else to focus on. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks to Greg. Thanks to Alex. Thanks to our sponsor, Seltzer Mayberg. Therapist Preferred. Check it out. This is a really cool new sponsor. Therapistpreferred.com. We're going to get the gummies out to Alex and Greg tomorrow. All right. Have a good one.